Hey guys, it's Mia Redrick here, the mom strategist. I'm excited tonight to share with you guys, what this just kind of came on my heart, and I wanted to share with you all. I did a scope earlier today. It was good. So if you didn't see it, like sort of why is your business not making it? And then looking at sort of 7 or 8 different areas why your business might not be where you want it to be. Now tonight, what I'm going to talk about, I'm going to keep it brief, is that just because you're a mom doesn't mean that you can't accomplish your goals. And it really was inspired by my day. I had a number of different coaching clients, all moms today. Hey, Errol's, and so one of the things that I want to make sure that we all get clear on is just because you're a mom, just because, sometimes as moms we have a lot of unscheduled interruptions in our lives, and sometimes we have you have things you've got to do for your family. You've got things you've got to do for yourself. You've got things you've got to do for your spouse and your world. And sometimes it feels like it's hard. It feels like it's daunting to believe that you can accomplish the things that you want to do. And I just want you to know that it's possible for you. And I just have 4 things that I'm going to talk about tonight that my goal is to support you guys. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist. Thank you for sharing. Preach on it, right? I'm the mom strategist, and I support moms with life and business success. And I've coached over 400 clients over the last 13 years. 112 of my clients are authors. Half of them are #1 Amazon bestsellers. And, what I love to do is help you to understand that, you can take who you are and you can brand who you are and you can create product from that, and you can monetize your gifts, because that's what I did over the years. When I got started in business, my only goal was to combine my background as a corporate trainer and my love of motherhood into some kind of profitable endeavor. And truthfully, I didn't even know what it was. I had never heard of coaching. I didn't know how I could do that in any way. And when I look back at my life and think that for the last 10 years, I've been a full-time entrepreneur doing exactly that, working as myself, I just want to inspire and encourage so many of you to do exactly the same things, because you are brilliant and you are amazing. And people want to know, what you know. And a lot of times we take for granted the things that we know organically. Now, I do want to share with you a little information about my family. 5 years ago, my husband developed kidney disease, and he went on dialysis, and that was 15 to 18 hours a week. And for my family. And last year, Pat got a kidney transplant. And so I tell this to you. I tell this to you. He's doing amazing, and our family's been blessed because of it. But I tell this to you because for us, we had built our well before we got thirsty. So when he had the surgery, we never had to think about where we needed to be. While he was doing dialysis, we could get him the best medical care that he needed. We hired a private physician for him. In addition to his regular medical plan, we hired a personal trainer for him because we wanted him to be able to thrive. And to me, that's what entrepreneurship is about. It's like it gives you choices. Yes, my dad had dialysis. It's rough. It can be very rough. It's difficult. And what I learned was that as a result of being an entrepreneur, it gave us options that because we had income, we had time, we controlled our time, that we were blessed to be able to provide him the best medical care ever. And then last year when he got his kidney transplant, I didn't have to think about anything else other than being there for my family when they needed me most, okay? And I know that so many of you have your own reasons why you want to be an entrepreneur. Maybe you want to put your kids in private school, maybe you guys want to travel around the world. Maybe, I don't know what it is for you, but I do know that being an entrepreneur changed my world. And that's why I like to do these scopes and share with you, my story. And I hope that it inspires you to reach deeper and to dig deeper in your dream and know that it's possible, because it is possible for you, okay? And a lot of times when you see that people have made things work in their lives, you don't know behind the scenes. People don't pull back the layers. Like everything looks glossy and pretty, and you don't know for yourself if it's possible for you. But I want you to know that sometimes it's not. Success isn't pretty. Sometimes, you know what? You can do it, and you just need to know that other people are dealing with the exact same things you're dealing with their own way. I'm just surviving, taking care of everyone in my household. You're truly an inspiration. Thank you so much. That's why I like to share these stories, because they're real for me. And, a lot of times if I do a live event or whatever, like you're dressed up, people see you, but they don't know the other side, which is, what you had to sacrifice, or what you and your family had to experience in order to show up in that way. Okay. I hope you guys are ready for the scope tonight, right? I hope you're ready for the night. It's just because you're a mom, you don't have to not accomplish your goals. And I want you to know that that's true. And one of the number one things, there are 4 things I want to share with you guys tonight. And my goal is to inspire you, okay? Remember to write, and tap the screen. Write, and tap the screen, the hearts, so that other people who might need to hear this message will hear it, okay? Who'll know that this is a great quality broadcast. That's it. All right. The first thing is, if you are wondering for yourself, if you can accomplish your goals as a mom, the first thing you need is strategy for you. And a lot of times for moms, like, we have strategy for everyone else. We might have strategy for our spouse. If we're married, you have strategy for your spouse. Like, what do you need, babe? And then you're supporting your partner with whatever it is that they need in order to show powerfully at work or in their life or in their career or in their goals, okay? And we do the same thing for our kids. Like, we look at what they're connected to, what activities they're into, and we totally support them with a strategy so that they show up powerfully. It might even be something like you make sure your kids have snacks that they need for their extracurricular practices so that they show up. You might make sure that, you get them wherever they need to be on time or early so that they can perform at a high level, whatever it is that they need, right? And a lot of times, because we support everyone else in their goals and in their dreams, we forget that we need a strategy for ourselves. And I want you to know that the very muscle that you're exercising for your kids and for your spouse to show up powerfully, that you need to do those same things for yourself in order for you to accomplish your goals. And you can't ignore that. And one of the things that I recommend is that you put your goals on your family calendar. Just like you have the kids, you have the family calendar that includes whatever your kids are doing. Put yourself on that calendar, and it'll do 2 things for your family. One, it'll allow your kids to see what you're digging deep for and what you want for your own life. And what you do is shift their blueprint of what's possible for themselves because they see what you're accomplishing. Oh, yeah, you're guilty, right? And the other thing it does is it becomes a reminder. It's like a commitment that you're making to yourself through your family to own the time that you say you want to take for yourself. So put yourself on the family calendar. If you're not doing that, you need to do that. It's so interesting. I have done it so much over the years that now I don't really do it that much because it's part of our culture, and I've shifted my family culture. My kids know that while I'm taking care of them, I'm always going to be taking care of me too. And that's their expectation. It's nothing other than that. Hey, Nicole, good to see you. We're talking tonight about just because you're a mom, it doesn't mean you can't accomplish your goals. And one of the first things you have to do is you got to have a strategy for yourself. And one of the things that I recommend is putting yourself on that calendar, on your family calendar. Good to see you, okay? Putting yourself on that family calendar. And what you're trying to do as a mom is shift your blueprint within your family so that your kids understand that there's a culture in your family of self-care. I know, you are right. It's so important that your kids grow up with that. And most of us didn't grow up with that. If you think about your own blueprint of what success looks like for you, you probably had a mom that didn't put herself on the calendar. Like, it's like blank. Like, when you think about it yourself, it's probably blank. Now, it's okay to heart. So if you need to leave the scope and come back, that's fine. That's fine. You have to leave the scope every 500 hearts and come back so that your hearts count. And I'm committed to giving you guys great and amazing content always. And what I love are hearts just from you so that we can support other people with great and amazing content. Number two is you got to make time for yourself. Now, this goes without saying. Most of us think that we are making time for ourselves when we're not. But what I'm talking about is like dedicated time for yourself to do you, okay? And for me, I like to do 90 minutes. Thank you, Nicole. 90 minutes a week I take for myself to get clear about what my strategy is. Like what I want to do for me, what I want to do for everybody else. And what I've learned over the years is that when I take great care of my own life, I make better decisions for everyone else that's in my life, okay? So it's impossible to prioritize what's best for everyone else, and you don't have any time to do that. Most of us are reacting to our lives. We're not proactive about our lives, and you know if this is you. 90 minutes a week to get clear about your self-care is so important. It's what I recommend for all moms. It has changed my life. I've dated myself for the last 17 years, guys. For the last 17 years, and it was really because my mom made me promise when I was 6 months pregnant that I would date myself every single week, because she was the mom that gave everything to her kids and didn't make time for herself. And when my brother and I were 13 and 12, she realized that she didn't know herself any longer. Like she didn't have any friendships that revolved around what she wanted. Her preferences were all related to my brother and I. Absolutely. And you know what I love so much about my mom is that she was able to give to me what she didn't do to herself. See, a lot of times people can't give to you what they haven't done for themselves. But for her, she sat down with me and said, I don't want you to repeat this. Like, you have got to make sure you date yourself. Is an hour a day adequate time? If you can do an hour a day, it's great. I say at least 15 minutes a day to look at your life the night before and say, where am I going to be living? What can I do for me while I'm taking care of other people? It's a strategy that I teach called blending. And blending is making sure you're taking care of yourself while you're taking care of other people. Your kids are in an extracurricular activity. You're at practice. What can you do for you while you're taking care of them? Your husband is asking you to do something in the house, right, for him, and he's home. What can you do for you while you're taking care of him? Can you listen to music for you? Can you listen to a book on tape for you? If you're in carpool, what can you do for you? It's so important to take care of you. And what happens is a lot of moms think that taking care of themselves is an afterthought, but it's not. You have to incorporate it throughout your day. And when you do that, you don't feel resentful. You don't feel like you've gone days, weeks, months without really being clear about what is best for you. That's what's really important. And that's why I recommend blending for moms. Like when I'm at my kids' extracurricular practice, I've already packed a bag for me. I was trying to think. Let me see if I have it. I don't have one close by, but I carry, for me, a Time for Mommy bag. I keep one in my car. I have my books in there, my journal in there. I'll pack my tablet in there. That's how I plan. Sometimes I'll put my calendar in there. I plan what I'm going to do for me. How am I taking care of me when I'm taking care of everyone else? Because we're always taking care of our kids. So if you create alignment around taking care of your kids with taking care of yourself, you'll always be doing something for yourself. Does that make sense? Okay. Number 3 is you need to have systems in your life to make it happen. So that's whether it's a calendar system or whether it's your 90-minute system that you're going to take care of yourself, or 15 minutes a day, or whether you're going to be looking at your vision board. You guys know, if you've looked at some of my past scopes, I recommend that you create a vision board, and that you look at that vision board at least 15 minutes a day so that you get clear about what you see for yourself, what you want for yourself, okay? A lot of moms like plan goals for themselves or set an intention or a vision for themselves, and then 2 weeks into it, they can't remember what it is. But what I like to do is every day I go in my office and I look at my vision board. I literally review it over and over again so that it becomes crystallized in my mind of what I want to accomplish for myself for that year, for that month, right? Does that make sense? So I'm not trying to figure out what I'm trying to accomplish. I'm clear about what it is because I'm with it all the time. It becomes part of my process. It's part of my habit. So you want to create systems to make it happen for yourself, and it's not just hope and change or wish, right? It's something that's a part of your ritual, and that's what makes it work. And I actually call it ritualistic self-care. A lot of moms think that like maintenance care is self-care. Maintenance care, as I see it, is like me getting my hair done. Is this vision board like a poster or so things you have saved online? You can do it either way. I'm trying to think of my vision board. Where is it? I can't really get to it right. Where? Okay. here's the thing. Your vision board can be a poster. It can be, mine are posters that I use in my office, okay? The other thing is you can also, some of my clients take screenshot they do them online, and they'll screenshot their vision board and use them as screensavers also on their phones or on their computers. So it doesn't matter how you use it. I think it's just important that you can do a vision board that's based on, goals specific that you want to accomplish. It can be literally, a vision board can be based on what you want to feel. Sometimes if you had a hard emotional year, it might be hard for you to define for yourself the goals that you want to accomplish, but you can get a clear picture of what you want to feel, like peace or joy. And you just start cutting out pictures of things like that reflect the emotion that you want to feel or experience in your year. I actually like to use vision boards, and I like to use words that really cool, thanks. Right. I like to take words and actually write out words for what I want in my business. What's interesting to me is that since I've been doing vision boarding like the last 8 or 9 years, most of my goals come true. And I make them pretty clear, like for myself, of what I want. And it's so interesting, like I remember I wrote one time I wanted like a nationally syndicated, to be part of a nationally syndicated show, and I was signed to a nationally syndicated, Emmy nominated show as a paid expert. I didn't know that would happen, but I had put it on my board. I have done things like I put for my husband, I put that he would get a kidney transplant, and I said 110% healing done. Right? And it was unbelievable. He had like an amazing surgery. I mean, he was picked the first time for his transplant surgery. So I choose things that are very specific like that. I like to use words. Some people like to use pictures. Everything on my 2015 vision board came to pass. The law of attraction. It's all about, thank you, Anitra. You guys need to check her out. Like, you spoke to the universe, made it so. And I was clear about it because I read it every single day. So it wasn't like this thing that I wanted to create that I was disconnected from. It was the thing that I saw every day over and over and over again. And because of that, it was easy to make it happen because it was part of my psyche. It was part of my thought process. And when I set my goals for the day, they were in alignment with the vision that I saw for my life. And that's what's really the most important part of it. That Mind Body Queen is in the house. Good to see ya. Nice to virtually meet you. I'm Mia Redrick. I am the mom strategist. And tonight we're talking about, just because you're a mom doesn't mean that you can't make your dreams and your plans and your goals possible. Good to see you. Tell me your name. Doesn't mean that you can't make it possible. It's absolutely possible for you. Already I've covered that, what you need to do is create a strategy for you. We've got strategy for everyone else in our family. A lot of times, hey Queen, we don't have strategy for ourselves. Number 2 is that you got to make time for yourself. Okay, time for yourself to get clear about what's best for you. And number 3 is you need to have systems in your life to make it happen. Your family needs to be a part of that. They need to see those systems. Your kids benefit from seeing you taking great care of who you are. And I can say this wholeheartedly because over the last 17 years, my kids have benefited from seeing their mom practice these systems, and it's a part of their life. Like, they don't know anything different than that. They think me time is what everybody does. Okay, welcome, Queen. We receive awesome content here. Thank you so much, Nicole. And number 4 is that you need a like-minded community, and this is so important if you want to accomplish your goals. Sometimes as moms, like your girlfriends, they're great. Like they're your girlfriends, but they're not your dream friends. Okay, and it's really a difference. Thank you, Julia. There's a difference from having girlfriends that you like to maybe break bread with or, have a toast with, than your girlfriends that you mastermind with, that hold a space for you in your big, big dreams, okay? Thank you so much, okay? And a lot of times we get that mixed up and we struggle because sometimes our friends, they aren't as ambitious as we are. So they're not your ambition level. And because they're not your ambition level, they don't always validate or they don't talk about the things that are important to you, the desires of your heart. And what I found over the years is that most of my friends that I met in college or that my friends from high school, they were not my ambition level. We shared these moments together and they're great people, but I had to build a village for myself of women who were doing the same kind of things their own way, and that challenged me to my light, and that held me accountable, and that didn't think. I was just thinking of this today, right? Absolutely, Queen. And that don't feel that you're being boastful or braggadocious because you see something big for yourself. Like, you actually have to create a space for yourself, a community for yourself that holds you accountable to that life. I've struggled with that. Lots of girlfriends who were not entrepreneurial spirits. What you have to do is know that they're not wrong. You just need to build that village for yourself. It's sort of like, I always say this, like when I did these triathlons 4 years ago, I started doing triathlons because I couldn't swim, right? So I signed up for my first triathlon. Started my first triathlon team of 11 women who joined me on my triathlon team called the Iron Moms, and none of us could swim. Okay, a manager just said this week something similar. Your vibe. Absolutely. Your vibe attracts your tribe. I totally believe that, right? And Seth Godin wrote a really great book called Tribes. It's a really great book I recommend. And so I started this triathlon team, right? And since that time, about 60 women have been on the triathlon team and done triathlon successfully. But the deal was, like, I had a couple of choices. I could either try to drag my friends who are not athletic, who would never do a triathlon with me, or I could find women who always wanted to dig deep, reach bigger for themselves in the physical space and build that community for myself. And that's what I decided to do. I mean, it's a lot harder when you're trying to build, you're trying to drag people toward your dreams and your results. Guys, heart it up, okay? So that's what I had to do. And that's what I've done also in my own dreams. Like, whatever it is that I want to accomplish, I'm not looking to drag my friends into what I want to do. I'm looking to build community with people who are like-minded. And it's so important for you to understand that as a mom. I think it's really hard. You just fired your tribe. Starting over. Life matches my business, right? Absolutely. And I think you know if it fits or not. And it's been interesting over years. I've been blessed. I'm struggling with balancing the two groups, right? That my friends are my friends. Like, we just toast and cheer. We have a good time together. But then I have my people that I rock out my dreams with. And I get to be vulnerable. I get to say what I really want to do. They get to hold me accountable. And that's really worked for me. And those people I may or may not see. But we are the same ambition level. And that's really important for you when you're a mom and you're an entrepreneur, because sometimes when you're a mom, people kind of think that you don't have goals anymore. Particularly if you're an entrepreneur, you don't have goals anymore because you're family focused, and and then maybe people think that you should do this and instead of doing that. Or sometimes people judge you if you are a mom and you are very entrepreneurial. They feel like maybe you're taking the focus away from where you need to be. People can be really judgmental. You guys know what I'm talking about. That's why it's important to be in alignment with other people who are rocking out their goals, who hold a space for your big dreams. And that really helped me over the last 8 or 9 years. I was part of a mastermind, about 8 or 9 women. None of us did the same things. In fact, we all did completely different things, but we had big dreams for one another and for ourselves and for one another, and we held a space for each other. So do me a favor, guys. If you need to go out of the scope, right, and then come back. Yes, guilt trips for trying to do better. Absolutely. And you know what? If you're not with a community of people who are like-minded, then you do feel a guilt trip. But when you're with people who are like-minded, your ambition level and above, they hold you accountable to the stuff you say. And that's a whole different level. You know what I mean? Like, I remember, like, one of my masterminds, we called ourselves a sister circle, 8 or 9 of us. One of us wanted to be a television personality. She ended up getting signed to the show Hoarders as one of their psychiatrists. Another wanted to be a public speaker. She ended up doing exactly that. Another wanted to be a millionaire real estate investor. She ended up doing that. She did her first real estate transaction for over $1 million. Another wanted to do international tours as a master coach. She ended up doing that. I wanted to be a coach in a lifestyle brand for moms. I did that. So we all did that. We all did like really quirky different things, and we held a space for one another. Another was an accountant. She was successful. And the thing is, you don't need your friends to do, your mastermind partners to do what you do. do, right? You need them to have the same ambition level that you have, and that they care about your goals, and that they won't allow you to shrink your shine. And we were always very committed to one another. Like, we didn't allow our mastermind partners to miss the calls. Like, we held a space for one another. Like, if I cared about your dream and you cared about my dream that much. Like, you could not show up on the call. You wanted to be there for me. You wanted to hear what I had to say. And I think that's what a lot of us don't do. Like, we are part of groups where people aren't necessarily committed to our success, or we're not committed to their success, but it makes a big difference. The people don't need to do what you do. They don't even need to know what you know. But if you're at the same ambition level and they're willing to commit and lock arms with you, amazing things can happen. We actually showed up for each other every single week on a call. And there were initially, I think, 10 of us, and 2 got kicked out because they couldn't show up. Like, they only showed up when they wanted something from the group, and it doesn't work like that. So you have to be a part of a community that really cares about you and cares about your success. And the last thing I would say that each of us did was we all worked with a coach. Like, we all worked with the same coach at a different time. And that was just it. And that really helped us to accomplish our goals as a mom, to get focused. I was doing something that was very unconventional, mom coaching, when nobody knew what mom coaching was. And so it was very important for me to get advice from other people from someone else that could tell me how I could make it, or I could make it in this world of coaching in the mommy space when, I didn't see a lot of examples of what I was doing. And that's what happens. Hey, Pat, good to see you. I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist, and I'm here talking today about, just because you're a mom, hey, good to see you. Just because you're a mom doesn't mean you can't accomplish your goals. And if you're watching me from the web, hey, you can send this out to your friends also via Facebook and Twitter. If you're watching the replay, your hearts do count. You guys can always connect with me at miaredrick.com, or my past scopes, over 150 of them, at KATCH.me, and just search Mia_Redrick, okay? Now, if you've been thinking about, maybe you're thinking, I want to work with a coach or something like that, you've got some questions, you can always email me personally at Mia_Redrick at findingdefinitions.com. Mia_Redrick at findingdefinitions.com. I don't do free coaching, but if you have a question about, a coaching program that I offer or how I can support you, I'm happy to answer that. I have emojis for my text message, but do I have to download to have access for Periscope? I don't know what that means, so I'm thinking that question isn't for me. You guys know I'm not very technical, right? So I'm thinking you're talking to Julia, because you couldn't possibly be talking to me about that. Okay. Are there any questions for me based on anything that I said today? Did any of this support you guys? What is your biggest struggle as a mom? As a mom trying to do the dang thing, right? What's the biggest struggle that you have that maybe I can support you with? Can you repeat? Can I repeat? Mia_Redrick at findingdefinitions.com. Mia_Redrick at findingdefinitions.com. Okay. Are there any questions that you guys have for me? What's your biggest struggle being a mom and trying to make that decision to go for your goal or go for your dream? What's getting in the way? What's getting in the way? If this is for you, okay, great, Nicole. What's getting in the way for you? Anybody want to say? As a mom, you're feeling guilty for pouring my time into your goals. No, the question for me. Okay. Okay. Yeah. You're going to feel guilty initially, but what you're going to see is that as you begin to add value to yourself, you begin to add value to your family in a completely different way. And that's one of the things that I've learned about self-care and reaching for my dreams and my goals over the years, is that my kids have benefited directly from my own personal growth. I can't share with them who I am. They don't get to see who I am unless I am that person. Does that make sense? So when I show up fully for myself, my kids get the full view of who I am as their mom. They get to be proud about that. They get to stand on my shoulders from that example, right? They get to understand what self-care really looks like. And that's why it's so important for you to go out there and do it. So it's not, a lot of times being guilty is just because the story or the examples or the blueprint that you've had in the past is one that's based in judgment, because we don't see a lot of moms who rock their dreams and also take care of their families. And I will tell you that one of the scopes that you should check out that I did on Catch.me is what Real Talk, that I did an interview with all of my kids, like my oldest, and your husband benefits, right? Husband benefits, wink, wink, okay? It's kind of like putting your airplane mask on. It is exactly. I want you to check out one of my scopes. Yeah, this self-care hit me right in the face. I neglect myself personally to meet everyone's medical needs, right? Absolutely. But what you have to do is you've got to meet your needs first so that you can be prepared and not resentful about what you're giving to everyone else. This is really important. Very, very important. If you check out my scope, Real Talk with my kids, my daughter and my two sons, and you will hear what they think about a mom that's taking care of her own needs while she's taking care of them. And it was interesting because it wasn't censored. It was literally just me just talking to them. They didn't know what I was going to ask them. People asked them questions, and they have a completely different view. But they've grown up with a mom that's practiced self-care, since they've known it. And it's really very powerful. It's a great gift to give your kids. It's a great view to give your kids that it's possible to take care of yourself and take care of them. And most often when we have a limited description of what it looks like, it's just because our blueprint from our own moms or grandmoms did not include that. You must be signed up to Catch.me first. Mia has a book on self-care, right? Strategies. Please show your book. I don't think I have the book here. The book is somewhere. It's Time for Mommy, 5 Essential Strategies for Mother's Self-Care. Time for Mommy, 5 Essential Strategies for Mother's Self-Care. I also have 365 Daily Strategies for Mother's Self-Care. 365 things you can do for yourself as a mom. They're all on Amazon.com. If you Google my name or if you search my name on Amazon, you'll find it there, Mia Redrick Books. They're all there. They're all #1 Amazon bestsellers. And my commitment is making sure that more moms understand that if you want to really support your families, they benefit from your growth. And they don't benefit from your sacrifice. Like, really, okay? They benefit from your growth, right? And it's one of those things that we don't think about it in that way because we've been taught something completely different. But my mom sacrificed everything and made me promise to date myself. And as a result of that, thank you so much for putting it there, Nicole. You are wonderful. You and Julia are amazing. I appreciate you both so much. Okay, words cannot describe, right, guys? The link is there. But it was interesting because my mom sacrificed everything, right? So that she wouldn't feel guilty. And then she realized that wasn't the right strategy. And then later, she made me promise to date myself. And so I was not that sacrificial lamb. I really am the mom that always dated herself. And actually, I attended my first mom's group when I was 6 months pregnant. And when I attended that group, it was interesting because I was the mom that was pregnant, and all these moms would talk about how they felt guilty for doing anything for themselves, that, they never did anything for themselves. They didn't date their husbands. They felt that being frumpy was like the way to be or whatever it was. And I remember thinking, I want to enter motherhood not that way, with systems for myself, not in judgment, but in listening to them and being pregnant because my mom wanted me to go and figure this thing out. It really supported me to enter motherhood with systems around self-care for myself. And I think a lot of times when we see, when we see celebrities talking about self-care or whatever it is, I think it's a lot easier to do it when you have wealth, right? But I think it's also important to understand that if you aren't a wealthy person, you can do it. And it's just making a decision that it's a time decision. It's a 90-minute decision, right? And I don't believe that maintenance care is self-care. I don't believe that getting your hair done or getting your nails done, I don't think that's a self-care moment. I definitely not get my eyebrows waxed and my mustache waxed, okay, which is one of the most painful things I've ever experienced in my life. I think that's maintenance care. And I believe that there's a very different and distinct thing from having self-care moments, me getting clear about clarity of what's best for me, and then having maintenance care, getting my hair done, getting my hair colored, getting my hair cut. That's not self-care. The dryer's blowing on my head. There's nothing about it that's relaxing as I see it. And I really do make I distinguish the two, because I think a lot of times we don't. Definitely, getting a massage, depending on where you come from, might be maintenance care, could be self-care, depending on the moment. If you're working out and your body's sore, it might be maintenance care. You know what I mean? If you haven't gotten away for a long time and you're just kind of chilling out, Tara is in the house. Good to see you, Tara. Then that might be a self-care moment. Just depends on what it is. But I think that it's very important and practical for a mom. You need a massage. You know what I like to do is I subscribe to programs that I get 60 minutes a month. I actually subscribe to 2 different services that I get 2 hours a month. That's what I like to do. Hey, Tara, good to see you. Today we're talking about, just because you're a mom doesn't mean you can't accomplish your goals. And I had some really great, I know, I like systematic and routine self-care. To me, that's what really works. Like for a lot of moms, like what we like to do is dip in and dip out. But what I like to do is make sure that the things that I do for myself are systematic. And when they're systematic, I do them over and over again. My family knows what it is. My husband knows what it is. My kids know what it is. So nobody's asking me any questions. I know what it is. And so I routinely show up for myself to take great care of myself over and over again. Does that make sense? Okay. Yes, I've been dipping in and out, right? So you want to think about self-care as a systematic process for yourself in order to show up fully. You're giving your life, right? You are giving yourself life, queen, by showing up fully on, for yourself, right? My hubby just said that Mia can't come to the bedroom. Ha, 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 ha. He said, take my phone back to the red chair. You tell your husband I said good night and sleep tight and don't let the bed bugs bite. Yeah, 7 people here. I do it. Do get to do our at all. You have 6 children. You have 6 children, or you have 5. Is it 5 of you guys? Right? It's 5 in your family. 5 kids and then 2 adults. Is that what you're saying? I think that's what you're saying. Okay. So I'm hoping that what I said to you guys tonight supported you guys. I always like to give you guys 3 kids and elderly parents. So you are a caregiver couple times over. So very important for you to make that time for yourself because of what you're giving. And then what it does is it makes you less resentful. It makes you really clear about what to give to begin with. So a lot of times when we are, giving to people over and over again and we don't have a plan for ourselves, it's easy to give the things that you don't want to give. Right? And do it over and over again because you're giving by default. So it's very important to get clear about that for yourself. Okay. Are there any other questions for me or any comments for me tonight? What we're talking about is that just because you're a mom doesn't mean you can't accomplish your goals. And I think so often, when you're a mom, and even I've seen it even when moms are in different programs, that people tell you let's ignore the fact that you're a mom and you got to show up like everybody else. And my thought has always been are you serious? Actually, what I have to do is do carpool for an hour and 20 minutes in the morning and an hour and 20 minutes in the evening. Then I have to come home and I have to make dinner for my family, okay? And then I have to make sure people get their homework done. So there's no ignoring that I'm a mom. And then when my kids were younger, I had to make sure people were nursed and bottles were ready and bottles were clean and diapers were changed. And are you kidding? So it's not about ignoring who I am. It's about honoring who I am and creating systems around that so that despite what I've got going on or whatever obstacles I've got, any interruptions, I can create systems around that so I can show up powerfully in my life. You can't ignore that reality. We can't ignore it. And I think too often, that's one of the things, Tara, that people have asked us to do as moms. Or a lot of times if you're a mom and you want to work in the soft skills place, society asks us to ignore being a mom a lot. I agree. And I think sometimes when you're a mom and you want to work in that soft skills place, for me, I wanted to coach mothers. So people said moms don't need to be coached. That's not really good. That's not really valuable. But I was are you kidding me? So one of the things you have to fight for as a mom is knowing that your organic gifts and skills are needed by other people who are just like you, and not to let people not validate the fact that, or devalidate, I guess is the word. I don't know if that's a word or not, but to unvalidate the fact that what you offer or who you are doesn't have a valid place, it doesn't solve problems. Because if I had listened to other people who didn't think that mom coaching was, something that people needed, I would not be doing what I'm doing currently. And I'm telling you that as a mom, there's so many opportunities out there for you to be able to coach and really support other people or mentor other women. I tell people my children are not my excuse, but my reality. Absolutely. I love that. Ignoring the children is neglecting life structure to children, right? Right. Ignoring the children is neglecting life. Look, a lot of moms are ignoring their children because even though you're present at everything, you're numb at everything. So let's be clear about that. So how about being the mom that's present at everything? You know what? My daughter was just recently looking at my phone, my cell phone, and she was looking at my picture roll and my video roll. And I don't have a whole lot of videos. My family is benefiting from your coaching already. Awesome. Boom. I love it. And my daughter was like, you don't have any videos on your phone, on your iPhone. Like, Mom, why not? What's going on with you, right? And I was like, because actually, I want to see you with my eyes. I don't want to see you through my camera. And I decided maybe a year and a half ago that I wasn't going to use the smartphones like smartphones, that I just want to see my kids. I want to see you sing. Okay. Looking at the site as I listed. Okay. I just want to see my children. I want to see you sing. You know what I mean? I want to see your smile, and I don't want to look at it through the camera. And so I stopped taking pictures of my kids that way. And a lot of us are viewing our lives, as a second party. We're holding up our phones and we're viewing our lives that way. And what I'm telling you is that, you only get one chance to live this life and to do it well. And you get to choose what it looks like. And you have all control over what that looks like. And it can be whatever you want it to be. You can be whatever you want it to be. But I know for me that I knew that I had a background in training and a background in motherhood, and that was valid. I'm a professional woman. Why would I not be able to support women like me who want to, own their life and business success? Why would I not be able to do that? And I was talking to someone at a resource center who just didn't understand or value women or mothers in that way, that said, this doesn't make any sense. And he was wrong. And sometimes the people you're sharing your big dreams with, they're wrong about the possibility for you. And you just need to understand who to and who not to listen to, and how to position your ideas and your unique gifts in order to monetize, who you are and what you've got going on. I just want to open up the floor and see if you guys have any questions for me. Of course, I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist. If you guys are interested in any way working with a coach, you never thought about, working with a coach in any way, Core Moms is only open until Wednesday. And then it closes until probably the end of March. So that's my big entrepreneurial program for moms who want life and business success. It's a 1-hour business call each month. A 1 hour. Thank you, Julia, for putting that there. That's the link. It's a 1 hour. I'm taking my socks off. 1 hour business call. A 1 hour life systems call each month, and a 1 hour open coaching call where you can ask me anything during the month in a group coaching setting. It's a great program. You also get assigned accountability partners in the community, and you're part of a private community of like-minded people. Great women in the Core Moms program. And we talk about, how to create your products, how to monetize your products, how to pitch yourself as an expert, how to brand yourself, how to position your social media, how to position yourself as an expert, how to pitch yourself, all the foundational things you need as a brand to grow and move on to the next steps. The program is $5,000 a year. If your business makes under $50,000 a year, then it's $4,200 a year for you. You save $800, and you can pay monthly, $350 a month, or 3 payments of $1,200, and then you save $1,400. Or you can pay one payment in full, $3,000, and save $2,000. So it's pretty straightforward. And then there's a smaller program, which is awesome too, that I do on Periscope called the Moms Academy. And then I teach just like this. Thank you so much. 1 hour business call each month, a 1 hour life call, accountability partner, how to brand yourself. Absolutely. And then there's the mom strategy call, which is on Periscope in a private setting, and I get to explain the how-to. So it's sort of like this, but imagine having a call like this where I actually break down the resources and I say, do this, do this, do that. Okay, you can do this, and then you can do that. call these people. Here's the resource. So I literally share the resources and the websites and the links for you to be able to implement in your business. And then you're also part of a private community of about 170 women within that community. It's just no, it's not 97. It was $97 a month. It is $117 a month. It is a 1-year commitment. $117 a month. It's awesome. It's really, really great. And like I said, I get to go deeper and explain to you the how to implement every single thing. And I'm always committed to giving you guys content-rich scopes. And the deal is that I don't teach anything that I haven't done personally in my business. So you guys know I built my brand from scratch. I've been able to work with several Fortune 100 and 500 companies as partners, including Panera Bread Corporation. I've done 2 partnerships with them, the Marriott Corporation, the Hyatt Regency, Corner Bakery Cafe, Great Harvest Bread Company, just to name a few. I've also been in the media quite a bit. I have, I was signed to an Emmy-nominated and nationally syndicated show, America Now, and I was the mom expert on the show as a paid talent on maybe I think it was 28 segments I shot for them. And then also I was on the Ricky Lake Show. I was their mom strategist for their show. I've done a lot of national television and print media as well as an expert. The Huffington Post, I write a column for them as well. Dr. Laura, Dr. Oz Share Care. And I don't tell you any of this to be boastful. I just tell you this so that you know what I've done, right? Right. Mom's Academy, Mia shares resources and tools, how to implement different systems and tools. Thank you for putting that there, Nicole. So I tell you that there because you need to know it if you are thinking about hiring a coach, what I've accomplished. And I think it's important for whoever you're thinking about working with to know what they have done over the years, right? And what I love about what I've done is that I built my brand from scratch. So it's a call once a month on Periscope. It's a 60-minute call. It could be 75 minutes because I ask, you guys questions, and then you get to ask me whatever it is that you want, and I'll make sure that your questions get answered before you leave. So it's a nice coaching option. You get access to the videos or any of the calls in a private portal that is part of your resource, and then I'll add in some bonus calls, also videos for you, as well as extra information to make sure that over the next year you get what you need. Okay, and you guys all know that when I got started in business, that the woman that I wanted to work with, she was charging $1,000 an hour, and I didn't have $1,000. So I said, what could I do for $100? And she gave me 10 minutes a month, and I had to sign an 18-month contract. Okay, so it's a 60 to 75-minute call a month and access to a video in a private portal, and bonus calls will be added. So my only goal is your success. And I know that if you're a mom, that's really important to know that, that option is available to you. And sometimes, for me, I had to start at $100 because I didn't have a big budget to invest, but I knew I needed to invest in something in order for me to up my game. Okay. And if that's you, then likely it's the Moms Academy. Like I said, Core Moms Coaching is a bigger entrepreneurial program, but it's great also. And my clients will tell you, if you ask me a question, I'm going to answer it. So that's the reality of it. And you can post your questions inside the portal as well. Are there any questions from me before we sign out? It's like midnight. So I just want to honor your time. I'm a night owl. So I just want to honor your time. Do you guys have any questions for me? Did this scope support you guys? Did it support you guys? So I'm not playing Lionel Richie music, as you guys all noticed, right? I know you're sad about it. If you guys are new, if you're new, what you don't know is that I'm Lionel Richie's #1 fan, and I typically play Lionel Richie music on all of my scopes. But in the interest of making sure that I'm not violating any copyright rights, then I'm not playing his music. Okay, I'm #2 cents. My name is Penny. Penny lover, walk on by. Okay, I don't sing, but yeah, you get the idea. Okay, awesome. All right, you love it. I love to have fun on my scopes, right? But I don't sing, and you guys know why. If you listened to my scope last night, my most traumatic moment in life, I sang, okay? Laughing out loud. Yes, I'm glad I was able to catch your scope, okay? All right. So it was wonderful, wonderful, wonderful catching up with you guys tonight. I appreciate you so much, Nicole. I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist. I know. That was so funny, right? Hero. It was Shiro. Okay, that's what's crazy. And if you guys don't know what it is, you need to look at my scope last night. There is no Lionel tonight. Lionel is gone. Great. Thank you for helping me wind down tonight. I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist, and I support moms with life and business success. You can check me out at miaredrick.com or my past scopes, over 150 of them, on catch, KATCH.me. Mia underscore Redrick. Mia underscore Redrick. I know. It's a crazy story, but it's true. I love you guys, and knock it out the park. I'll talk to you soon. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Okay? I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Thank you, Julia. Thank you, Carol. And thank you, Nicole. I appreciate you all. Bye.